are listening to LOA Recon with the Good Vibe Coach Jeanette Ma, where we dissect the ins and outs and the art and science of conscious creation, all intended to amp up your manifesting game. Let's have some fun together. Thanks for tuning in for another episode. I'm not actually supposed to be recording right now because I've been working on this page that I've been meaning to be able to announce to you, but the forwarding isn't working. I bought a really cool URL, 14daymanifesting.com, forwarding to the page that my VA set up for us to sign up for this super cool thing I wanted to tell you about, but the forwarding isn't working. And it was working all week long, and I'm getting ready to send out the newsletter today to tell people, hey, let's get this party started. And now it doesn't work. And so I was trying to fix it my own self and not fixing. I got online with tech support, chat function, and they're like, should be an easy fix. Just go do this. It should only take 30 minutes to fix. I've done that before, and it doesn't take 30 minutes to fix. So I checked it immediately after. Still not fixed. I checked it like 5 minutes later, still not fixed. I'm like, dang, is this really does it usually take this long, or is this not fixed? So I was losing my good vibe. Okay, one could argue I didn't have good vibrations to start with because I was kind of mad. I was like, it was working all week long, and now the day that I'm ready to share it, it doesn't work? Come on. I was kind of mad. Okay, yeah, that's probably what my vibration was. So I'm like, okay, let's just seriously give it a half hour. I gave it a half hour. I checked it. Still didn't work. Oh, didn't like that. And then I'm like, I got to call in the big guns. I call in my VA. I email her. I'm like, this thing, it worked. Now it doesn't. She's like, she calls me. She said, it's this, that, and the other. She said she'll handle it. So I'm like, okay, cool. But then the thing wasn't fixed. It just wasn't fixed. It just wasn't fixed. Even after I thought maybe she done it? Because it's still not fixed. So I'm like, did you fix it? Because it's not fixed. She was like, I thought it was. It's like she's making out like it's fixed for her. It's just not fixed for me. I asked a couple people to test it. No, they are not. They're getting errors too. I send her screenshots of the errors and like, no, it's not just me. It's all of us. She tells me what to do. Still doesn't work. Dang it. It's working for her, not for me. Duh. Hello, Jeanette. It's your vibration. So I got this idea that, you know what? I know this. I know better than to check a thing until you're pretty sure you're going to like what you see. Don't check it with the kinky vibration. Don't check it after you got big momentum on this doesn't work. You got to check it when you're feeling good. You got to check it when you're feeling confident. You got to check it when you expect something good to happen instead of rolling with your bad vibration and see if it's fixed. How is that going to be fixed? Because here's the thing. Ooh, did I get mad the other day? Okay, I didn't get mad, but I was shaking my head when I saw, it was an LOA savvy person. I think she's an LOA savvy coach. She's well known. I hope you guys don't all recognize this when I'm about to say, because I don't mean to call her out. But she sent out a newsletter, or maybe it was a social media post, something along the lines that said, hang on, I don't want to get it wrong. I actually wrote it down because I had contrast about that. And I was like, I'm gonna write about this. She said, what comes next is unknown. And I was like, what? What comes next is not unknown. We know what's coming next. It's whatever we've been practicing. There's no mystery here. It's all unfolding according to a very specific system. The system of you get what you vibrate. We know what's coming. What have you been rehearsing? What are you holding in your head? What kind of feelings have you been? That's what's coming. It's not unknown. I got a little attitude still, don't I? Yeah, I don't want to write about it when I have that much attitude. Anyway, I know that when I got a bad vibration for something, don't go check it. Walk away first. Walk away for a while. Give it a little breathing room. Go feel better before you come back to it. So yeah, my idea of feeling better, I guess, was to record an episode for you. I don't know how talking about it is going to get. I'll probably have to do something after this, like go eat lunch or go play with Harvey or something. But I was thinking, this is a helpful reminder in all sorts of things, like the way we go check our credit card balance or our bank account balance or step on the scale, or when we go look to see if the one we're hoping to hear from has emailed us back on our, online dating profile or whatever. Whatever the thing is that matters to you, don't check it until you're pretty sure you're going to like what you see, or at least that you don't care what you see. Because if you come to it with a negative expectation, it's going to have a real hard time showing you some good news. So let's remember that. That's why I'm not going to go check it for a while, even though right before I started recording, I got another email from my VA saying, okay, it's done now. Like, she sounded pretty final about it. Like, she sounded pretty confident about it. She's good at what she does. So in fact, maybe there should be 3 things we should have in place, or at least we have one of 3 things in place before we go check it. We make sure either we've got a good reason to believe that it's going to be what we like. And her emailing me saying, hey, it's fixed now, that's a pretty good reason for me to believe. If I didn't have this prior bad past experience, let alone momentum and the bad vibration, that'd probably be enough. That's one sign that it's time to check it, when you got a good reason to believe there's going to be something good there. Or here's another time, when you're just feeling good in general, when you're having a fabulous day, like something really amazing, things are just, you're on cloud 9. Has it ever happened to you when you're like, ooh, where should I point this? Like, this would be a good time to go look at something that matters because you got such good vibrations flowing. That's a really, really good time to look at something that you care about. But there's another good time too. That's when you feel inspiration to check. That's when you're aligned to something good, when you're aligned to a preferred outcome, and you get a nudge, you get an inspiration that says, yes, now. Ooh, in fact, so I have another story along those lines. I don't know if I should tell it on this episode or not. So my point being, don't let me sidetrack myself. Wonder if I should just go back. What comes next is not unknown. What comes next is whatever we've been practicing. Oh, I got a story for that. It's not a cool one. Some of you saw this and called me out on it. Called me out when this is clients who called me out in our private sessions. No one called me out on Facebook. Everyone's way too nice for that, but I would have deserved it. So I had, maybe one person did, but she did it so nice it didn't even feel like getting called out. I told a story about how I'm telling so many things in this episode, I'm going to lose track of what my whole original intention was. Oh, my original intention is don't go check my URL that's forwarding. All right, mission accomplished. So I had feral cats last year. They came from South Jordan Shelter. Wow, this is such a cool story. Oh, I shouldn't tell it now that I just named them. I'll have to save that story for another episode. All right, so I've got 2 feral cats. They said they were semi-feral and they didn't want to euthanize them if they didn't have to. If they could find a place for them to go, they'd rather not because they said they were semi-feral, a mom and daughter. The mom, some of you have seen pictures of her on my Facebook page. She's the most stunningly beautiful Siamese mom, just gorgeous. And they estimated a 4-month-old tabby daughter. I picked up both of those cats because I got a lot of room. Ferals are my thing. So ferals are my thing. I got to remember that. That's a mantra I got to remember next time because I was not using that one for this story. So I got them it was probably fall, maybe late summer I got them. And I was keeping them in a room in particular to acclimate because now they got new place. I need them to get used to a new place before I just turn them loose. So they acclimated to the one room for a while, but then I got other foster kittens that needed that room. So I moved them to a people bedroom, which just became a second feral bedroom. Anyway, they got moved and they were in that room for a while, but then the tabby girl. Oh, by the way, neither one of these even remotely semi-feral. Okay, is that fair, Jeanette, to say? It feels fair. It feels fair. And if I told you the long version of this story, you would understand why. Yeah, that's probably an accurate description to say they are not semi. There's no semi about their feralness, especially the daughter. She was just 4 months, but oh my gosh. Okay. That girl didn't want nothing to do with no people. She got out of that room one day, and that meant she's roaming free in my house. She's roaming free in my house. Well, she's not roaming, though, because that's not what ferals do. She's hiding. And I know where she's hiding. Remember that super cute? I had a super cute video where I set up cameras to find out where she was hanging out. And that one, it was a kitten. It was a Siamese kitten, not from this. Oh my gosh, it was from this mom. Remember, the mom was pregnant. I totally forgot she was pregnant. Oh, I didn't forget. I didn't know. I didn't know she was pregnant. She was cooking kittens the whole time. I didn't know. I just thought they were really hungry because they had been, on the run, feeding their own selves in the city. But no, she was eating a lot because she was pregnant and she had 5 kittens. Oh, they were the best kittens. Anyway, it was one of those kittens. Could I tell you something funny? What the rescue group, what they named this mom? Oh, it's so rude. You're not going to laugh. It's so rude. They texted me one day. They Facebook messaged me. They said, "How is Sojo Moho doing?" And I was like, Sojo Moho? I didn't even know who they were talking about. I did not know who they were talking about. She goes, this sounds so rude. These people love cats. No one loves cats more than the people who gave her this name. My mama Siamese, who came with her 4-month-old tabby daughter and was cooking kittens without me knowing. They nicknamed her Sojo Moho for South Jordan. That's the shelter she came from, Sojo. That's the nickname of the shelter, Sojo. I don't want to tell you the rest. I'm sorry, I don't want to tell you the rest. Oh my gosh. Where was I in this story? Okay. The kittens, one of the kittens tipped over the security camera. It was really funny. It's a really funny video clip. Okay, so the tabby mom, it's so funny. I can't say it out loud because then I have to mark this podcast for explicit, and I don't like to do that. Okay. Oh, see, I'm laughing really hard right now. This could be a good time for me to go check the forwarding on that URL, but I'm going to finish this first. Okay, so this cat's loose in my house, but she's laying low because she's super scared. I can't stop laughing about what they call that mom. Get it together, Jeanette. Stop it. Because this rest of the story is not a laughing matter. Oh my gosh, it was not fun. She's loose in my house and it wasn't a problem for a long time. It still wasn't really a problem until she started coming upstairs at night. I don't know why she was coming upstairs at night. I don't know why. She might have just been lonely. She might have been curious, but she started peeing, and I think it was her. She started peeing in a corner, and I was like, that's not cool. And all the cats know in my house, if you ever want a new gig, pee in my house that's not in a litter box. That's the best way to get if I got a foster, that's how you say, I'm ready to go. All right, so I'm thinking it's her, and I'm thinking, well, Jeanette, you do need to get her into the transition room. So there's a room where it's got a cat door to the outside, but it's surrounded by a gigantic kennel. So she can be outside, feel the breeze, see the sun, hear the birds. But she's getting used to, this is the new property where we hang out. It's an acclimation. They have a special name for it. What do you call it? A soft release, kind of, sort of. Okay, so, but I needed to get her into that room in order to have access to that door and that outside kennel thingy. So, oh boy, catching a feral cat. I've done prior episodes about this. Yeah, but this is a new one. This is a new experience. So I've been knowing for a while how this was going to go, that I'd make them stay in through the winter, and when it got to be better weather, I would introduce them to this area where they could have limited access to the outdoors and eventually have full access to the outdoors. So they could be cats who would stay on the property. They could come and go. They could eat in here if they want or eat outside if they want. I feed outside too. But that was the plan. So I've been all winter long knowing this is what we're going to do when spring rolls around. Well, all right, here's the time to show her the new gig. But I got to get my hands on her. I got to get her in this room. And, herding cats, or even herding friendly cats. There's a reason they call the phrase exists, herding cats. You don't herd cats. Oh, they're in charge of their own selves, let alone a feral one. So I was thinking about how am I going to get her into the new room? And I've been contemplating it. I've been thinking on it for a while, having different plans in mind. And one day I didn't decide. It felt like inspiration. Like, today's the day. Today's the day. This is going to happen. And part of that was because, Harvey tipped me off to where she was. So she's got this cat tower. It's like a scratch post, but a gigantic one. My ex's dad built it for me. Oh my gosh. So my ex-boyfriend, who's also my best friend, his dad built it. He built me a bunch of really cool cat things. And this was it's like a giant tree. And it's got a bunch of holes in it with platforms on the inside and branches. So you could be either on the outside or on the inside. And she liked to be tucked up on the inside. And she spent a lot of time there. I know that because Harvey would sometimes tip me off that that's where she was. And I would always call him away because she didn't want anyone to know where she was. Like, don't ruin her hiding place. But one day he tipped me off she was there. And I was like, oh, maybe this is how I get her in the room, because that thing's got wheels on it. So if I just cover the holes, how she got in, all I got to do is I'll never even have to touch her. I don't even have to put hands on her. I don't have to get her in a carrier. No nets required. I just cover the exits and I scoot it into the room. Doesn't that sound like a fabulous plan? Oh, I felt really smart about it. So I did that. I found a bed, a cat bed that had a really thick bottom on the bottom and lots of cushiness. So even if she went crazy and started batting at the hole where I was covering it, there's no way her claws would get through to my hand, okay? But I still used leather gloves, because I'm no fool. All right, so I found something else to cover the other hole, and I was like, okay, I think I got this. And she was still in there when I did it. For sure she was still in there. I covered up, I was talking softly, and I was moving slowly, and we scooted into the room, and my heart was beating kind of fast, I'm not going to lie, because ferals do scare me a little bit. This is where I said that mantra would serve me well. Like, ferals are my thing. That's why they call me when they got a semi-feral. There's no semi about that, but that's fine. I could do feral too. So I scoot the whole thing through the doorway without incident. We get in there. I close the door. Super cool. I closed it with my feet. I still got, my hands are still blocking all the exits. And I take the bed off and the other thing that I was using to block the other hole, and she doesn't jump out. And I think maybe that's cool. This was a non-traumatic transfer. That's really cool. And I go to leave, but then I thought, wait a minute. Is she in there? Are you sure she's in there? I kind of got to know, because otherwise she'll just, who knows how long she could roam free in my house without me realizing that she is. So I go look in the thing, and sure enough, I don't see her in there. And I thought maybe she's just hiding really well. But I look closely. She's not in there. And I thought, did she jump out after we got in the room? Or did she jump out before? I didn't know. She was just sneaky. She was so sneaky. I didn't know where she jumped out. So I went out, and I started looking for her in her other favorite hiding places, and I didn't see her. So I couldn't tell. I went upstairs for a while. And something alerted me. This girl's upstairs. I think it might have been Harvey spotted her again. But this time, instead of running downstairs, she ran into my bedroom. Ooh, okay. Well, that's not as good as hiding in the cat tower, but at least I know where she is, so I can get her now. So I got the material, the equipment I needed, like the cat carrier, and Dad was a Boilermaker. He gave me his leather gloves, for when sparks fly so they don't burn your skin. I got those leather gloves. I got a fish net. I hate to say, but sometimes that's what's required. And a blanket and a super thick towel. I got all my stuff. I go in there, and she's hiding under a chair. It's like a big chair. It's like a mini couch. It's big. It's like it's like two people can sit in it. It's a big, big chair. It's a big piece of furniture. She's hiding underneath it. That's okay. Cats do theirs. They hide there sometimes. I know what to do. You just tip it up, and then they run to a different place, and you see where they run, and you just go there. And sometimes, yes, they run back, but not after they realize you can tip that up real easy. Then they don't go back. So I tip it up. She doesn't run out. Guess what she does? She goes inside it somehow. She goes in it. I don't know how, but she did. She's in it. Now I got to be careful setting it down because I don't know exactly where she is. I don't want to hurt her. She's in it. And she's not coming out. She's not coming out. So I start getting a new plan. The plan now is push the chair so that it's facing a smaller area. I put it in the entrance to the bathroom area, so that when she comes out, she's going to be in a more contained place. You know, she's not going to be hiding under the bed and behind the nightstands and all this. It'll be easier to get her there. That's the plan. Can you feel my vibe on it? That's how we know what comes next is not unknown. You totally know how this turns out because you can feel my vibe of frustration and not working and and this is hard. That's my vibration. We know what happens next with that vibration. What happens next with that vibration? This whole ordeal, and it was an ordeal, 18 hours from start to finish. It was about 17 hours and change that I finally said, girl, you don't need a new plan. You need a new vibration. Because what happened after she did eventually leave the couch thing, but she ran into a cupboard where it seemed like I should be able to get her there pretty easy. But no, it wasn't. There was nothing easy about this because easy was not part of my vibration. I'm 17 hours in on this before I realize, girl, you don't need to suffer this much. You don't need a new plan. You need a new vibration. You need to just change your mind. Because my mind was all about how this isn't working, thinking of all the ways it could go wrong, like including me getting scratched because I was like, hello, we're in social quarantine. This is no time to go to the hospital. And cat scratches, do not want to fool around with those. And I'm just frankly scared of a feral cat. I am. They're scary. They're so scary. Oh, they scare me. So in my head was all the wrong things. There was no room for a happy ending with all those things in my head. So I finally got a hold of myself after 17 hours of this. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it wasn't fun. Finally started practicing a new vibration. The vibration of, you've heard me talk about this before, where I finally get calm, cool, and confident instead of what I was. So I practiced that. I'm like, this is happening. And I practiced the outcome that I wanted. I wanted her to be safe. I wanted her to be happy. I wanted her to be healthy. I wanted me to be healthy. I wanted me to be happy. Okay, so I'm practicing what I want. And I maybe should have practiced it a little more than just a few seconds because I had months, all winter long, I was thinking about how this is going to go, right? So this wasn't just a couple minutes. It wasn't just the 17 hours. It was even what led up to that. It was even my past experiences with ferals. There are people listening to this who have easy times with ferals that are like, wow, why is she making it so hard? Yeah, I know, huh? All right, so I practiced a better vibration. And I was trying to feel confident. I was trying to see it going smoothly. And I got a handle on some of those visuals, but not a really good one. Enough to proceed, though. So, because I just decided this is happening. This is not going into another day. So I reached in. Here's my plan. I reached in with my leather glove that goes up to my elbow. But I was nervous she could reach past that. I was Come on. If anyone's tangled with a feral, you know or a cat in general, you know what I'm talking about. Just to the elbow. And yes, I had a long sleeve, but it wasn't a leather long sleeve. I didn't have it totally good because she turned and hissed at me and I stopped. I did not. I was like, okay, you were scary. I'm not doing it. Okay, so, but then I got an idea. Okay, so I've been practicing, the end result. So I got a different idea, and it was this. Pull out the drawer right above, scoot the carrier right up to the opening of the drawer where she was hanging out, and then pull the drawer out on the top, and hopefully she wouldn't try to escape from that. But instead, I could reach through and kind of poke something in there that would convince her to leave and go into the carrier. So I did that. I just barely touched her with I had a long, it's a dry skin brush, it was long. I reached down and touched her. Oh, she didn't even care she won't let me get anywhere near her, but she let that brush. I was full on touching her and she still didn't run. She didn't move. So, but I thought, just touch her a little more. Let her know you mean business. Get your arm in there better. And she could have messed me up, but I was practicing confidence. And was basically prying her out of that corner because she really didn't want to go. But when she did, she went into the carrier and I got the oh, okay, so now she's in the carrier, but I needed to get the thing closed so before she ran out, because, even normal cats, they're good at escaping those carriers when they don't want to go in. But I did. I got it down. I got her in there. It was without incident, no scratches, no blood, no hissing. It was really good. So then I got her into the room. Why am I telling you the story? Oh, right. How much are you willing to suffer before you change your mind? I was 17 hours practicing the bad thing before I realized, girl, maybe bring a new vibration to this party. That's all it takes. We don't have to change the circumstances. We don't have to micromanage the outcome. We got to change what we're practicing, what we're rehearsing, because that's what's going to happen next. It's whatever we've been rehearsing, whatever we're vibrating, that's what's coming. So we get to decide how much we're willing to suffer. I had another example of this. This is messed up. My example of suffering was receiving texts from a loved one who was texting me a lot during this pandemic, during our time of quarantine in particular, when I am properly practicing social isolating, even though I'm in one of the states that hasn't mandated it, by force of law. They just kind of suggested it. I'm practicing it, because that feels smart to me. It feels appropriate. I like it. I'm not going to lie. I like being on quarantine. I'm one of those people who's like, can we just keep doing this? Because I really like it. In a lot of ways, I really like it. I got another episode about that. Okay, but so I got a loved one, a love interest, texting me, who thinks we should be able to see each other. And I'm like, I'm going to explain to you about how I'm practicing this quarantine. The way I'm practicing this quarantine is I'm not seeing anyone unless it's necessary. And I love you dearly, but you're not necessary. It's not. And he was texting me sometimes, like multiple times a day, like cajoling me, like about he would have reasons why he's safe. I'm like, you don't know. You got to have a 14-day course. You don't know. He's like, oh, but no. Can you hear me? Frustrated. And what was frustrating was that every day I'm responding to this guy who's making an argument of why I'm being a little ridiculous and why we should be able to see each other. And I finally, after like 3 weeks of it, 3 weeks, not 3 texts, 3 weeks. Sometimes those days were 3 texts a day. Oh, I don't mean to be saying it like this. I hope I'm not getting you frustrated too, just the way I'm telling the story. But I was like, is this how you talk to someone that you love? Because this doesn't feel like love to me. Oh, I suffered. I suffered for longer than I need to. And guess what? Then I followed up with one more text where I said, would you treat your kids like this? Because I was like, maybe he doesn't love you that much, Jeanette, but I know he loves his kids. And I said, so would you treat your kids like this? And that was the end of those texts trying to convince me that we should see each other during the social quarantine. I was like, wow, why didn't I say that way sooner? You know why? Because I was willing to suffer way too much before I gave myself what I wanted. Okay, and what I was going to say is that it isn't that we take action to change the circumstances, although that one did seem to do the trick there. But it's the vibration that makes the difference. It's the vibration. That's what we want to be paying attention to. So when you've had enough of being miserable, or when you've had enough of whatever you don't want, whether it's the URL that won't forward, or the whatever it is that you're not having a good time with, just remember that you get to decide how long you're going to do that routine, and you can change it by simply changing your mind. You can find a new thought that's got a new feeling, or go do something that feels better, anything to shift up the energy that you were engaging it with so something good can happen instead. Something good can happen instead. I would really like to wrap up this episode on that note. So I'm going to try and tell you a happy story. Oh, how about a happy story? Okay, so I'm thinking of my feral, who's in the room where this is where her happily ever after unfolds. Like, this is where she gets to be. I'm going to cry talking about this. I'm trying to be happy, and here I'm going to cry. That what she was looking at before was certain death. You know, they euthanize, and I wonder if they do it in a gas chamber. I'm not even sure. Oh my God, I was trying to tell you something happy. The happy thing is that this kitten and her mom are at my house, and they're in the room. Oh, because I went to go get the mom after that. I did. I was like, well, we're going to get them both in there. I thought they might find comfort in each other's presence again. So I wanted them to both be in there together. And I think I did really good with that. Anyway, so they're in a place where they're safe. Someone's looking out for them. Someone's going to make sure they've got good food, good water, good health care. Let's hope I never have to take them to a vet. But if I do, I'm willing to do it. All I got to do is bring a better vibration to the party where we get them in the carrier. But my intention in sharing all of this is to invite us to not suffer so much. Let's clue in sooner rather than later that we're in charge of what unfolds next. Thanks for listening, everyone. And I'm intending that by the time you listen to this, 14daymanifesting.com will work. So you know what this is? This is the, I ran the 30-day manifesting challenge a couple times for a couple hundred people. And that was where, for every day for 30 days, we practiced a new alignment technique. And I charged like $100 for everyone to be at that party. And I kept getting emails, especially while we're quarantined, from people saying, Jeanette, could we please do that again? Could you run that again? And I was like, yeah, let's do. This is a perfect time for that. But let's not do it 30 days and let's have it be free. So 14-day manifesting event, that's what I'm hosting. It's the different formula. It's a different approach, but it's the same manifesting magic. That's what we're activating together. And it is so much fun when we do it together. So I'm inviting everyone to join. Well, not everyone. I'm inviting every conscious creator, everyone who feels like playing at that manifesting party. This is not for muggles. I'm not introducing law of attraction to newbies. None of that. This is for people who know their power. They know that they create reality. We're going to do it together in this 14-day manifesting event. We start on April 20th. You register to join, and I'll send you details. But that URL should be working by now. 14daymanifesting.com. All right, I hope you walk away from this episode, if nothing else, smiling at how ridiculous I can be sometimes. Big love, everyone. Thanks for listening.